Guess who's stupid? Forgot to plug his mic in before starting stream. Okay. It is time for a game. Where's my mouse? There it is. God, what do we have to do? Do you have to get my gun from Everett? We have to. Excuse me. We have to interview Flage. Like a scab leader. Last trap is empty. We gotta go to the apartment number 20, which 28 was the smoker. Okay. Some tattoos. We're gonna do that now. Scab leader. And then we can sing my sad karaoke song. What's the smell of a potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vent? What does scab mean?
Went native on the chief, huh? Those ballerina antics were reckless. Should have just punched him in the throat again.
Wrong. You did the right thing with Measurehead. The ballerina antics won you the fight.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about our right to work.
I think maybe it will help me decipher some tattoos.
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
The body of the man who's on your kernel. Who's on your kernel?
Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. You see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome, melting skin and hair.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
Loincloths?
Yeah.
He's clenching his teeth. There is silent pressure behind them.
Okay, tell me what the tattoo means.
What it means.
Points to one tiny star in the web of lines away from the man's heart, almost on the
I
stomach.
can tell you what this one means. Only one. You wanna... Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital. 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission.
One tiny star in the web of lines away from the man's heart, almost on the stomach.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kept villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly.
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon...
His voice gets strangely quiet, a long, long way from right to work. His gaze pierces the paper.
At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old.
Yeah, no, never mind.
What's the matter, militia man? No stomach for it? This man was worth 1,000 loincloths. We're done talking here.
I think we should maybe even get going now.
There is absolutely no need to push this any further.
Alright, so... Fuck that guy. So, let's go. We could do a sad karaoke song while everyone's here now.
Can I help you?
This feels right. You belong here. Sing karaoke. I feel like...
There's no way to listen to the tape without a working tape player or portal-reel at hand. But even just holding the tape makes you feel a little sad. A pawn shop would have a tape player.
Okay, so I actually have to test it to make sure it is. That's annoying. It's like Elena.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude.
Eight-eyed Terratorn
It's a
tie.
Mexican origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
You never told me you've seen the Phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the Phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself.
5 and a half.
5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me.
She looks at you.
After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing.
She brushes her hair
Of
back.
course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian Phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You're on a
Our
date.
first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly. Its limbs are white.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Kim, what do you think of
I
this?
thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple
But
smile.
I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
That's all for now, ma'am.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am
Says
grateful
with a
for your
friendly nod.
assistance, officer.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Good. Okay. And
One of them was empty.
completely empty?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap, no locust, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but
He rubs his chin.
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
Of course, more clever.
The detective whispers to himself.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
What a deft hunter this phasmid. I have to tread lightly here.
Of course we have.
Wait, Morel. He may have a point. We have an obligation to rule out other hypotheses.
You're right, dear. It's a fair point. But what other explanation could there be?
He turns to you.
Pardon me. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization.
Kuno's a
The
hooligan.
lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently. Consider the way the empty trap
Dude,
was
every
disturbed,
time I'm so worried
as
about
though
critical failures.
shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
I think a little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the
A
locust.
little hooligan. But what would a child want with bugs?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to the little gremlin and see when it comes up.
Delinquents. My favorite.
Doesn't sound like it's really his favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
He looks at his tea.
Morale, it's been fun, really. But I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Gary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
The first man to break formation is always a blow to leadership. This is bigger than he lets on.
Well, you can fuck right off, Gary, because I hate you anyways. You.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't get... No.
Locusts.
Kuno doesn't...
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
What's this about?
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember
Yeah.
his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
Kuno does...
Sentimental snow dripping on the roof. It's strange. It's crawling with locusts in here.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case.
Right, someone is over
Of
trying to
the
see.
locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a subcase of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Yes, precisely what I was
Yes.
thinking. He
I
nods.
feel we are nearing a real breakthrough.
Think the Insulindian phasma is
If
nearby?
anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know? I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
Man, he's gonna be feel like such a fool when it turns out this is real all along. I swear it's gonna be real.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Yeah. Kuno took the bugs, so what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
So you don't give a fuck about bugs and you go and build a whole bug town?
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
She wails from behind the fence and buries her face in her hands.
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
City of Rage.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist. Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Making art is worthy calling. I'm still like an artist myself.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you Kuno.
Il capo dell'arte. Say 5 art lines.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give away.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
A leaden silence fills the yard.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. So that's what this is about.
Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promise I won't do that.
I don't believe you.
She disappears entirely behind the
For
fence.
once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation.
And you just stop taking locusts from
I
the
don't
traps.
give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
Alright, I better be
The
off.
fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian Phasmid. He mutters to himself.
He recognizes the name.
Wait, you know what the Insulindian Phasmid is? He
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit.
says angrily.
The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
You promised to stop stealing the locusts.
So he was just a child.
Purses his lips,
Thank you
crestfallen.
for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid, or the missing locusts. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
Darling, I told you to take it easy.
I see.
Getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
There won't be a next season. Not for this. Find a Phasmid or admit defeat, people.
Maybe I can still restock the trap for you. You've come too far to quit. I'm gonna restock the trap. Let's do this.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we?
Makes a show of suppressing a sigh.
It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
Really? It's too much, officer.
Starts coughing again.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
She nods to her husband.
Here's a fresh scratch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center.
This tingles my pleasure center.
This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
What did I pick up? Oh, right, the Thai Inland Empire Volition. Ooh. People. How much fallen gear do I have? Just those two? I think it's just those two. Alright, I do remember which trap it was because it was the one closest to the city. The one closest to me right now. eyes of the page 3 girl, L'Origine du Disco. L'Origine du Disco.
Hello again. How can I help you? The Col de Mamadaqua. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter.
I've been really into all things art lady experimental,
What an
you know.
interesting development. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone hunting for the Col de Mamadaqua. Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead.
That sounds so cool.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Col de Mamadaqua. And he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things. So he got the rest of us to join in his search.
Did you ever find it?
We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up and combined them into the Symphonia Col de Mamadaqua.
Can I listen to it?
Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do.
Do we really have time for this?
I wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. Let's start with something else now.
Alright.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled.
That's up to your
Chip one
toes, so see
especially
more.
catches your eye. This is
Stereo
you.
8.
Golden orange. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
This Stereo 8 approved machine here.
Is the Harman Welshie W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel.
Is it all working?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech. Found sounds and music from a variety of
Should
genres.
this device come in handy in my
If
police work?
means playing tapes.
Like a beach party. With sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
Theoretically, could I bring it to a beach party?
Theoretically, yes. But we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party.
You're right. Work
That
first.
is the unofficial RCM motto, yes.
Okay.
Hello again. How can I help? Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I know I have some good shit here to sell. Like the banged up fuel canister. Which must have some purpose. Yeah, that's... Oh, no, wait. I was gonna say let's resell my gun, but that's not mine. Can I just sell this guy's fucking... Like... Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna pawn this off. And then...
Another time, perhaps.
Let's buy this.
The boomboxes wait on.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go.
And now we can do the karaoke!
The porter reel is just what
Press
you need.
play.
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Armistice is the
Then
way.
the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing, telling you about the tiniest church in Cesson. Within seconds, you know this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one, a click, then silence for a bit. Then The tape stops spinning.
It sings for
Of
karaoke.
course you could sing this. You could take and the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. The lieutenant looks at you as you...
Oh wait, wrong way. Cross to the water lock. It's somewhere this way. It's right there. Cool.
The trap stands empty amongst the reeds.
Fantastic.
The locusts, dazed from being trapped, they're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think... Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical...
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological runaround,
On my boombox playing music? No. Well, I was playing that music. Okay, it was.
Hello, dear.
Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
her smile is wary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
Probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in those
I'm
streets.
sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game. Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
We'll take
That
care of it.
really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication.
Fuck that cough. It's not happening. The insides of your lungs are lined with tobacco, a powerful antibacterial agent. You are unstoppable. Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
You seem different.
Different? How?
Giving up on the phasmid.
In doubt, sweetie. That's all. Everyone is now and then.
About what?
It's a strange feeling.
She looks down, biting her lower lip.
I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But you told me you saw
Morel's
it.
so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
Seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That. And for years, his belief made me believe too.
That I am a queen, an extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
Oh, please, please.
An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
Something good here.
All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
Your relationship with Morel isn't just about the phasmid.
It is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Normally when I think about stuff like women and marriage, I feel bad. But when I think about you, Morel, I feel okay. That counts for something, no?
Of course it counts for something. But we've had our hard times too.
She looks down at her legs.
I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work.
But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
I still believe you saw the
A true
phasmid.
believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it, how it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day, like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
It has been a pleasure, man.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a...
Sentence remains unfinished.
A dream, a fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine enters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's snowing.
We should go too.
Gart,
Can
I am
help
singing
you?
karaoke. Now!
No, you don't. It's not happening.
Part of my quest is self-discovery. Help me.
The Whirling's not a charity or a musical therapy clinic. It's a commercial establishment. You're going to scare away the customers.
Why do you even have the PA system?
It's for the... It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
I know it's not a problem. It's for clients. I know it's
Okay,
used.
yes, it's for some clients.
I'm a real client. I pay my bills and have the right to use the karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
It's alright. I have my own song with me.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard. This is the look of a man who's
Defeated.
He knows he's out of excuses.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
Time to do the damage. Hold on. What is this? Okay. Probably gonna be like drama. Alright, composure. Might be composure. This one, empathy. Shivers. For facing. Conceptualization, Xavier Fair, electrochemistry. It might be electrochemistry. Be suggestion. Maybe suggestion? That's what I put on. I literally just said that. I'm stupid. He shivers. Be Inland Empire Volition.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into.
Oh.
Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket. Hey, it's
I
a
forgot chewing gum wrapper.
It reminds you of the not familiar in a good way. The stage is all set up. You feel a little dizzy.
A little unsteady.
Unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now?
It is drama.
Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
The bar is full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you any attention. But still you feel your knees turn to noodles. Okay, now a couple is looking at you. You're sweating. They are going to hate you.
Look, Kim, I'm gonna sing karaoke.
I can see that.
Step away from the stage, ready for your performance. Let's go!
The air is thick.
Critical
with
failure.
Anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. A lump's in your throat suddenly.
I needed to roll at 10. Or 9, sorry. I think it's funnier that I fail.
I would often go there to a tiny church there, the smallest church in Sansan. Now it once was larger. How the real may rest there, down through the mist there, towards the Seven Sisters, towards those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there in the tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now you're all alone. None of this matters. At all.
Just the limbic system singing it.
Do you hear that? It's the most pathetic applause in the world, Harry. Made of pity. No one liked you.
You didn't like it, huh?
Your words echo in the karaoke mic. People talk in the distance. A couple tries not to look at you.
Quit yelling into the mic!
Why do I have to get mad at them?
You hear, or think you hear, uncomfortable shifting around. A bit of laughter, maybe. No one's...
I'm gonna unplug the mic now, okay?
You know what good singing is? This is real singing. I sing about real stuff.
That's it. I'm unplugging it.
Press the top of the tape crystal, you hear a little whine on the feedback, and the mic dies in your hand.
Let's go, officer. These people wouldn't know a good performance if it beat them in the ass.
You liked it?
Detective Dubois. It was downright tragic. Now, let's go.
I mean it. he thinks.
Yes!
To him, being a cop in the RCM was truly expressed in that performance.
The only thing that matters. Boyfriend liked it. Alright, now let's go to the apartments. We gotta go to apartment 21 for the smoker on the balcony, and we gotta go to apartment 20 to let the woman know her husband's dead. Another time. Which one is apartment 20? Ah, there he is. Is this one 20?
Gendarmerie, you found me.
Young man in the balcony gives you another bright smile before taking another drag from the
His
cigarette.
slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight, and his shirt is still unbuttoned.
We got your hint from the key right on the
Beautiful.
stone. He replies, smiling, looks at you, something sparkles in his
So
eyes.
tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm moving for, yes.
Beautiful.
He says again.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
I'm really digging the view here, points to the skyline.
That's why I chose this place.
Sway, cigarette,
Monday's is special, isn't it?
and glowing in the dark.
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
I want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's
He takes another drag of
It's getting
his
dark,
unfiltered
and the neighboring
cigarette
windows have
and
lit up
looks
over.
around. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
But I just found
Just
you
look at
again.
it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
He's right. Only losers go to bed early. Time to break out the booze. A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Something so different about him that I just can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
Such a good listener. There's something mysterious with the way he talks and moves.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
Squints his eyes from are very mysterious.
Very.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
He was the department before you. Quarterly Business Magazine. Empty ashtray. Dishes soaked up in a pot. Flyers for underground parties. Dates for open lectures at local university. This Academy bed made of metal. Buckets on a layer of old buckets of paint on a layer of old newspaper. Old photo in the same apartment. Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. Body Dragon's Silk Road. Ooh. None of this is weird.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Man in business casual moves his cufflinks.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot.
Where'd you get this beautiful silk robe from?
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was...
I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I put food in the toaster a while ago. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It was very silly of me. So serial me like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening.
Play, huh?
I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated.
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell. Drummers? Why, no. But then, I don't know what a drummer is supposed to look like.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad.
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Men
All
and
men,
women?
I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Aeropagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
Happen
Well,
next.
that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. it was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened?
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
That does seem strange.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Those are all my questions. Thanks for
Of
your time.
course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. The Coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the Coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern. La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
What do I call
Your
the
employer,
coalitions?
technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part.
Price
It is
stability.
the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
2% of what?
Not too far below, no. 2 below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions.
The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price.
I'm
A
good.
sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the Moral Intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the Moral Intern's commitment to transparency. Whatever you wish, officer. Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is that it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. It's warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's ménage decided to emigrate. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Or au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people. It's how I came. Sorry. Who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Officer, you have to understand. He's deeply enmeshed. He's a truly free spirit. I'm just enjoying the view. We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between. I'm sure you'll see him around. I'm all ears, officer. A moment. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. Of course.
I got what I needed. AKA all of your stuff in your apartment.
A weathered brown door. Something smells good. Soup along, yo. The lieutenant motions. This is the door. You already know it's the right door.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door, and
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got it, Dad. Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
Okay. Alright.
The lieutenant motions.
Hello? Who is it?
Voice calls up from the other side.
And someone turns down the radio. He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
Is this Billy Méjean's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
A moment, please give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in. The door is open.
Drawing height, since growth over the years. Textbook for high school. Taking away on cheerfulness. It's all in the room. Contemporary pop stars.
It's you from the book stand.
Oh, just because you're from home without knowing what to do.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink?
Looks around the kitchen.
Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thank you, but I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face.
No, this is something much worse. Is he in the hospital? How bad is it?
Definitely no small talk. This isn't the time or place.
You're Victor, your
It's
husband,
me,
right?
Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters.
How old are they?
Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18 next month.
I'll see them
The
home.
girls are staying at their friend's place.
She swallows visibly.
He has a problem with drinking. and
Spears
so
every now and then.
He's probably in the parks drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up. Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayro Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayro. Just to return a book of mine. Fine.
Do something? Break something?
The Glinting
It's a
Curve
fool's hope.
by M. Thibault.
Yes. His old leather jacket. It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so yes. The lining is hand-sewn, it's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
She folds her. Here it comes.
I'm gonna critically fail this.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus. Yes, that's the most important thing. Use that word.
I'm very sorry to say it, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Your husband, Victor Méjean, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh.
Just her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray.
But he was just here.
Alive.
Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
Yeah.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
Couldn't have been long.
She blinks eyes welling up with tears as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress.
Here.
Lieutenant takes out his handkerchief and offers it to the white woman. She nods and slowly wipes away. Anyone who could call for you, a friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you.
No. I just need to tell my girls.
The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly.
It burns like acid.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
No. Take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow.
That's probably the right thing. Thank you.
She nods, but with a wretched expression.
She can't take much more. Her stomach is churning. Soon, she will have to go to the bathroom and scream.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still...
She rubs her face, runs her fingers over her cheeks that have become numb.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
She runs out her breath.
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
I'm very sorry, man.
We should step outside and talk.
Sit the library card by her and leave the room.
You did well.
Lieutenant says bugging feels wrong. What now?
I'll call the station tomorrow and let them know the name of the deceased.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done.
Or billionaire
They'll
kids.
manage.
They have to.
It's not your
It's
place.
not your place to live their lives.
It's close, son. Become the dragon. Become an addict in a strange bathing robe. Man, that one is hard, though. Wait, do I just have 3 skill points lying around? Damn. Elysium based on I'm trying to shuffle various world. Hold on. I don't feel bad about looking up. Better loot and lock containers. -2 suggestion. Encyclopedia gives me money. White morning gives me more zoom out and okay. Homosexual underground. Based on reality. No positive effects from alcohol. Okay. No positive effects from drugs, no negative effects from alcohol. Okay. Don't want precarious world. I know that much. What else do I have? Magnesium-based life form. Soviet socioeconomics. Actual art degree. -1 hand-eye coordination. Conceptualization passive heal +1 morale and give 10 XP. That's not bad. -1 logic, +2 volition. Okay. Mazovian self socioeconomics. Left-wing dialogues with 4, -1 visual calculus and authority. Rigorous self-critique. Red check failures heal morale and health. Okay. And let's get actual art degree. I also have 2 skill points.
Hello again.
That isn't a fresh paint smell coming from the wall. She's using heavy fuel oil.
I need conceptualization. Alright, let's talk to Claude. Claudia.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Woman's voice answers muffled by the door.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere.
Telebill calculations had an extended stay. Mildly dirty clothes, woman's clothes. Room has sad all over it. Reminds you of your own. The air below.
This
Corpse is no
medicine
longer there.
cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills. It's been used, but not for scrubbing blood off towels. It's clean of chemical odors too.
Some dry toothpaste.
Pharmaceuticals
Medications.
line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol.
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, a bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is
Preptide.
A euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. The lieutenant looks toward the door as if, who cares, man? Who This medicine cabinet.
Anything of note?
I didn't take it to take it. I took it as evidence. So I'm watching you behind the glass door. A woman hastily made door a bed.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Run your finger across the surface of the
Smooth
glass.
as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as glasses.
You know which window is not been recently replaced?
When I smashed my room?
Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now.
Cigarette smoke in the air, ashtray menthol. Cold coffee ashtray looks like a hedgehog. Dried white white
Just
wildflowers.
as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance. Then the lieutenant gives you 6 crumbling petals rest.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle. Yes, but not these early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your... Water flows under the channel bridge. Dark water. You rub your sides for warmth, but there is none. Inland, above the Martinez distributary, the channel that brought wastewater from the silk mills of Jamrock, and then dead bodies during the war. The wrinkled fingers of an old man crush flower petals, then sprinkle them in the stream like white salt. The same small, heavy door. No lock.
I don't know, Lieutenant Ifrit. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your... I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams and a dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it.
It's barred. Sounds like it's heavy, too.
Musical instrument. -2 physical. Oh, I had the drama bow tie. I forgot about you. I'm very good for that. Oh, well. Shivers.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You kick it, gung-ho style. Entering the premises style.
All right, let's trash the place.
Let's not.
What I expected, but doesn't matter.
Welcome to the roof.
Young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. Okay. I'm gonna be right back again and put away these dishes and stuff. Okay, I'm back.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you got here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wander northward the yard.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There is something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man.
When's your cleaning lady? I think I need one.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the Infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi.
Oh.
I'm a detective from Precinct
My bad.
57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
But I go on.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
Takes a pensive drag of a menthol
Be
cigarette.
careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult. No need to dilly-dally. She's tough.
I'll dilly-dally this
You
time.
sound like a namby-pamby.
What's your name, miss, for the record?
Clausier Amandou.
And where are you from?
Vredefort, Republic of Oranje.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
What's your specialization?
Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Look at your
I'm
passport,
afraid
please.
you can't.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
I know you've told us your real name.
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Mondou. It's a weird name.
Okay then.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her
That's it for the record?
The record. So official.
What's this wildflower?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
What's Sambo?
Martial arts, sir.
Why was
Is
it there?
that why was there a flower on the roof?
Or an admirer?
Any admirers, miss?
Admirers? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society.
Question avoided. Let's conclude that she has admirers. Plenty of them.
They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
You sexually
By
assaulted.
sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Drag unperturbed.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
It's actually almost 11 p.m.
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
It's evening, miss.
Is it?
Consistency.
It is evening. Time flies, man.
So you weren't.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, They'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she means...
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
Never heard that before.
A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
The point. What kind of party? The kind I do?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
I don't know. It's physically possible.
Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Were feelings involved?
A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension? With longing. She misses him.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
Must have been hard for you.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Right, that was you.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Well, it was just
I
disguise.
didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it how?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's God's mystery phone cutter.
In the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was...
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
What can you tell him about... What can you tell me about him?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
Another puff, more nervous.
I know it's difficult, miss.
She meant she sees him in her dream.
I've also seen him in a dream.
You have? Not like I do, I imagine.
She's running a cigarette, some my new one.
She sees them in each other's arms.
They're in each other's arms.
Yes. And then he's dead. His mouth agape.
She looks into the light green pack of cigarettes and pulls out another one to bring light it. I see him as me.
She dips the cigarette in the lighter's flame and inhales, then looks at you with her lungs full of smoke.
I can see the similarity, yes.
Breathes out through her nostrils, the air smells menthol.
Funny how?
Nothing. I also saw him. We had a long inspection and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on.
What will they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too? They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
It's hard to know what to think about that answer.
Damn it!
She's just tired. Don't push her too much.
How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
How'd you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
No.
Don't be tactful. She doesn't care.
I'm 89% sure.
I mean, you're 11% not sure.
You know how it is.
Do you?
Actually, I don't.
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
She
Okay,
takes You hear cracking in her shoulders. She breathes.
Should we head by downstairs, officer?
As he says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into...
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. drinking coffee most...
Well, ma'am, it's 11 p.m. now.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys.
Think somebody can
Nothing
cooperate?
will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Why did she tell us
What
all
else
that?
could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have
If
known.
not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something is off here.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our
This window is pristine.
Meant to go there. It's an awkward place for that. Damn, the Hardy Boys are gone. So, I guess it's time to...
It's getting cold, this late in the night.
Good night, officer.
Right, we forgot to go on a date with the lady. Crash every motor carriage in Reversal. Hopefully.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
What are you tired of?
Writing. I hate writing so much. But I have to get back to it.
The man, you do not hear the customary disconnect tone. Just lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying.
Dial the random number with your eyes closed.
You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial. Then pull down on the number. Then move one up. And repeat the motion. Twice. Strange. This is not how you started before.
Keep dialing.
414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air.
Keep dialing.
1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling.
There's more?
Yes. 451-67451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks.
Finish it.
451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle. The wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there. Not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion. Far away. A distant network of phones. Calling. Calling in the night. The saddest sound in the world. Calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. Calling, 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 calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello?
She sounds sleepy. Hello. She hums, her voice warm from sleep. Who is this?
Dora. Who is this? The connection is bad.
Dora. The name feels like a gift. A gift that was meant for you. To make it possible to live. And fight. In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Bed springs rattle. Don't react. Whatever you do, don't react to that last thing. It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background. It's covered in pain and white noise.
I'm a revolutionary servant of humanity. I will free mankind in all classes. I will raise the dead.
You're not a revolutionary, Harry. You're drunk.
How do you know my name?
Because it's me. Look, I don't understand what you're saying or why you're calling me. You seem drunk.
I'm actually not drunk.
Oh, God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late here.
Sounds like she's looking for a clock on the nightstand.
It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours.
Who am I? You sound like you know me.
What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Where are you?
I'm in Morova, sleeping.
Where are you going 2 hours?
To work. The academy, where I work.
Sounds better than my job.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
I am the law. I'm a detective. I'm doing a case. There's a hanged man.
She does not answer anymore.
I'm gonna solve it.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. Actual art degree. Trite, contrived, mediocre, milquetoast, amateurish. infantile, cliche and gonorrhea-ridden peon to conformism. I fucked me. Affront to humanity. War crime. Should literally be tried for war crimes. Resolutely shit. Lacking in imagination. Uninformed reimagining of. Lip-wristed, premature, ill-informed attempt at. Talentless fuckfest. Recidivistic shit peddler. Pedantic, listless, savagely boring. Just one repulsive laugh after another.
Well, that sure was a phone call.
It's getting cold. You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads...
Exactly what I need.
This book will show you the score. Get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy. The alphabet.
Flip through the pages.
Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C, H is for homeboy. I
homeboy.
is for Econ. J is for Yura. K is for Q is for Quasar. R is for rhododendron.
That's it.
That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Phew. That's good. I was right about that. Let's read this book.
In your hands, you hold 6. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear the back cover is dominated by a black and white. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this in cold, detached prose. The author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots. As ethnic tensions run wild, it would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
10 more pages.
They go through a brief and somewhat awkward. He toils through the daily drudgery. She spends the next
I don't actually care.
of their short time spent together as life leaves their remains between the soil.
Alright.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean.
I think I have my electrochemistry shit. I don't think there's any stopping the expression.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Better bed than the other one.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising. Above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers,
The plotted?
faces turning, changing.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
I'm building communism for all. This time we won't
There
fail.
he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
'Cause only love can break your heart. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Do it for the wind.
Hey, I didn't go to bed that late.
Rise and shine, comrade. Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized.
Let's get to it.
You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism, but it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. They live underground. These communists aren't men. They're mole people.
Will they help me fire up Mazov's social sausage grinder?
Just between us, you may want to lay off this grind up the bourgeoisie stuff. It's a bit off-putting, even to fellow communists.
That doesn't sound right.
Possibly. If you have been, it's only because, regardless, what's past is past. Let your nose guide you, detective. Yes, fortunately, communists, we really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction.
What do they smell like?
Failure.
There's so much failure in my life. What does failure smell
It's
like?
a smell you know all too well. Simultaneously, what you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. People sometimes complain there are no real First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinez. When you get near to someone with again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic. Here we go. Wake, brave worker. 'Tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.
Alright. It's time to build communism. Hey, Kim. Okay, so... what is it? Suggestion? That's minus suggestion. Minus suggestion. Is that really the only plus suggestion thing I have? What I have on? God damn.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? But until that happens,
that makes sense.
I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer? The waves are beginning to die down.
I'm safe scumming this one, I don't care. I want it. It'll be funny. It'll be funny going on a date with her while Kim's there.
The waves are beginning to die.
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings.
The waves are beginning to die down.
Oh.
I don't have problems with this. This is just
The
a
waves
silly
are beginning
one
to die
at the end of
down.
the day. Oh, come on. 17% chance, dude. It's not like a 3% chance I'm safe scumming.
The waves are beginning to die down.
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on.
The waves are beginning to die down.
You think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea?
What do I do then?
What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober?
I'm listening.
Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic.
I'm a drunk, don't know if you noticed. I usually ask people to drink with me.
I have, and I don't really.
This time though, I ask you for a walk.
Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator.
I am. That's why you should definitely
Where
agree.
will this walk take us, officer?
There's a nice view on the beach I found. Land's End.
Officer, I thought we had a work of our own in mind. One that results in a solved murder investigation.
Oh no. You, come with us. Seriously, I insist.
He smiles at the lieutenant and turns back to you.
You need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. That's it. Understood?
Having the lieutenant along is a fail-safe measure against any possible funny business.
Smile
I
and
guess I
nod.
can come along for a quick stroll. I mean, if the ma'am insists, of course.
I do, yes. Stroll on the beach sounds nice, doesn't it? All right, I'll see the kids haven't killed each other and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes?
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready.
We're going on a date. Gotta make sure this date doesn't fail. Oh. Let's check. What clothes doth I have that might be good? Sexualization. That's a minus. I don't think I want minus. Suggestion.
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party. I know you do. These inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this. That's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense. This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you.
No. Normal. That can't be.
The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are. Early in the morning and the sun is up. And not a drunk or teenager in sight.
She breathes in the fresh air.
Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
She turns to face the again. She's surprised that I made it.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments.
Miss it for the world.
The world? Those big words men like to throw around as though they had weight. Let's just admire this piece of the world we happen to have in front of us, eh?
Honesty, a playful glint in her eyes.
As she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves, and the skyscrapers rising across the bay, you cannot help following her steady gaze. The sun reflected in the waves, and the skyscrapers rising across the bay, is mesmerizing. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
Isn't it strange for this
breaks the silence abruptly.
all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out of your reverie. The sun does little for the dead, and those hopelessly lost in their own minds.
Is that why you named your boat the sun?
Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition.
And a bit of conceptual unity too, it being yellow and all.
Just enjoy the view.
There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skewers, grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their opulence.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be?
Something's got to be on our side.
I guess we wouldn't really be here if that thing wasn't on our team.
Fish hooks in your ears.
These aren't real fish hooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fish hooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them.
She's right. They're made mostly of plastic. A cheap novelty gift you can buy from a flower shop or a kiosk. The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the light slowly spreading across the other coast.
You wish you were out there fishing right now?
Always do. I like it. It's like being on another planet. A water planet. With water worries and water joys.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the light slowly spreading.
Interesting lilts in your voice.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt. Not a lot of sun there, I hear. Though I've never been.
I love how Ubi Sunt has a question mark at the end of it.
The lieutenant makes a show of glancing at his watch and tapping his foot. Here we go. 2 different approaches to cap this off with style.
The only fault with the sun is it shines on us as well as our enemies. A massive thermonuclear reaction 5 billion years old. The sun is a god. These are my 2 options after succeeding the conceptualization check.
That it does. But then, we are also enemies to our enemies, hey? And so she shines on us. The cops and the commies, the killers and the saints. You know, the wind's gonna pick up soon, and I have to go, but...
He takes his sword out of the scabbard, the blade reflects the sunlight, dark orange.
Have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore.
Sure you don't need the sword?
No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me.
The lieutenant looks at the sword with distrust in his eyes. Do not bring it into a gunfight, he thinks. Please understand, it's merely ceremonial.
Think we can do this again sometime?
Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Thank you for coming on this walk with me.
Farewell.
He nods to you and turns to go. Equip this to impress yourself. What does this give me? Nothing. +2 for the modifier for interfacing check during the Moralist Vision quest. Well. That doesn't help me. Because I'm not a moralist. Oh well, that was fun. No, my hand-eye coordination went down! More Inland Empire. I should have done more Shivers. I want more Inland Empire and more Shivers. Hardy Boys. Question her a little later. Roam the streets to sniff out some comrades. You also got to get into the church and deal with that. Might as well do that while I'm here.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand. The carving on the door is... The surface is smooth. The lock...
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. It's black. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of in the heart of the city.
Ooh. Strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. What are the fork lightning pattern you saw outside? Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. Grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Feels like it's trying to become one with the church. By word for complex equations, they look recent. Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. Portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Siphoning electric current from outside into this antenna.
A machine stands in the corner.
Radio computer.
Another radio computer.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one we have done.
A quaint little box of radio waves. In white, silver, and cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from under. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There, you kneel among the snowdrifts. The world is silent, but the ocean feels distant. Its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope. The woman looks down at you, kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips, and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You. No, she doesn't care about you. She only cares about her shiny sovereign's orb and her silk robes and getting to the aerodrome on time. To leave. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack. It's a mystery. A mystery spring. All you know is, this is the young mother of you.
Damn, it damaged me after it healed me.
It's Dolores Day. The old woman was right. This is the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the Small Pinewood Church in some records. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers. There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Looks at the machinery lying around.
Respectful. Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? A pang of guilt? The lieutenant is leaving something out.
You know why it was
I
abandoned?
have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I remember being
I am pretty sure it was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything more about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was
Good
doing.
luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's an important to our business in Martinez now. Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Delorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Damn, that was encyclopedia. Visual calculus. I wish I could, like, sort. I selected the auto sort option. Like, I want you to sort by visual calculus.
The mother of humanism stands above you.
Well,
a
another
sharp
failure.
glimmer in the dark.
I'll just level visual calculus up next time.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
The only way I can fail this is by rolling a 1-1, which is already a failure. So, easy. And I rolled a 1 and a 2. I hate my luck, dude. I hate it. Oh, man, dude. Oh,
It's
man.
like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower, and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows. Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Janet, follows your gaze. I'm going to see whatever it is that you were
Oh,
seeing.
no. You've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
Blink. Behind, it's over there.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The Crab Man.
The Crab Man. Hey, who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
The right place for what?
I'm here to receive the mother's love.
Actually, did the other one.
You can too, Holmes. And when you ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shit.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
Oh, I'm very in touch with my
Not
suffering.
all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
For some reason, I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways.
Must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Fair, it's really more like a
I always
spider.
thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
Where were you before you became a crab man?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
I lost my memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, start again from scratch.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry. Extend your hand
That's
for greeting.
just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
It's Mother of Silence, you mean her?
No. There's a new god in town. And she can be painted or sculpted. Because she has no limb or even a face. She is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me. But I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes. And no one ever will.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Faith is a kind of a drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I
Religion
know I
is
can
the
convince
opioid
you
to
on
the
that
masses.
fact.
Communism.
Think. When's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Those are what
I'm
you're
a
doing in the
seraph,
church.
Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
I'm a bit of a singer myself.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
How did you find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, way. It didn't belong to me.
Another
The
question.
sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams.
See the police raid that took place here?
Something like that.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job.
Some ravers want to turn this place
That's
into a
the
nightclub.
ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Do they have a reason?
Nah, man. They look pretty fun.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
What do you think about the nightclub?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself.
Alright, nice.
He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
You know where the other one is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
The Aita is Grandma?
There is another person.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Don't know where she is.
That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay.
Or search through her radio computer.
Okay then. Thanks, man. Thanks, mystery wall climbing man. Spider-Man. The Spidered Man. Drawn depicting a deer. Crack painted glass, colorful. Even the stained glass window still has letters on it too. Something tells me that'll help with visually calculating the wall. Wasteland of reality. 20 hours? What does this one give me? Wasteland of reality. +1 psych, return to the self. -1 inland empire, -1 physical instruments, -1 suggestion. Wouldn't +1 psych make up for the -1 inland empire? And suggestion? -1 physical instrument will suck, but I think I can live with that. Oh, I don't have a slot open. I thought I did. Never mind.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown.
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
What does the motto say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
Afterlife, death.
Death.
After death, life again.
After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
What?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
The RCM motto now.
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
What the fuck?
Eyes cool.
The lieutenant nods.
The mother of humanism.
22 communists. For honor. 24 good cop, bad cop.
A machine stands and the lieutenant doesn't say anything. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in another filament memory. Press, nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good morning, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Yvonne, it's me again. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun. That's the church. And Rue de...
Anything else I can help you with?
Log for
Good.
March.
Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. Maybe he knows something.
Received. Fortress Accident is there. Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love. Too many times, essay. You need it for something. Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
That is true. But what comes after death?
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it. I think we're done here, essay.
The figure crawls off in the darkness
That
above.
was, however,
It's not.
The machine's keyboard is the speaker.
Good morning. Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, votre accident is there. Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is the printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks at the first entry made on the 4th of February, 51 by an unknown author. It's short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
"4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Second entry?
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids. Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned.
7th of February, 51. Finally got
I'm
the
not
electricity
muted if
in.
anyone's worried.
Next
I'm
on the
wondering.
agenda,
I
a
am
new
just
antenna.
oddly quiet.
I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
I'm tired. My brain is focusing.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business.
Well, we
The
saw,
one we
yeah,
saw in the Doom
Fortress
commercial
Arena.
area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
A girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station.
Oh.
Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me!
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with the machine.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
And there she is.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
There's a she holds down the off button for several seconds, the machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCN, you see.
We're here in a side case representing certain music venue organizers.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
Ray looks up, you hear the machine roar back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her. After she has...
What is it?
Are you the lead programmer of We're All Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or... no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
It's not like a big loss to her. Who are you? What are you doing
I
here?
am Soona Luukkanen Kilde, the former lead
Fortress
programmer
Accident.
of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Have you seen the Crab Man?
Nope.
But you know he's
Yes.
around. So you're not worried about him at all.
You're right. I'm not.
Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need
I
an
use
antenna?
the AR-1 as my RAIM Prefect's processing unit.
I don't understand.
RAIM Prefect is my radio computer.
The antenna's its
Yes.
processing.
You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Not really.
Alright. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
What about those bowls of water?
They are connected to my RAIM Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay?
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using.
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing.
Working on what?
Could you just... shh for a moment?
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do.
Great.
What are you doing in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask
I'm
questions.
conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
What research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
The data loss in your
Yes,
journal.
that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
So me, we're living in a world that has
I
holes in
don't
it.
know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out?
I can't even understand how we're talking about something that doesn't exist, let alone measure it.
You measure it by its surroundings. By that which
Does exist.
Which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence. To find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts.
Right, nothing to do
You
with
do know
ghosts.
there's no need to officially document this information, right?
She has already turned back to her keyboard.
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Eyes gonna pierce the pitch black heights above without much
Only
success.
a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why
There's
there?
this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You think the Crabman might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
The research isn't going well, why
Because
not?
it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks.
How do you feel about hypnotic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Have you actually listened?
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
How do you feel about a club?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do they want to
Take
build?
a guess, why don't you?
Petting zoo, community space for the elderly. You thought it would be nice.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you?
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
They want to build a meth lab, don't they? Something tells me that I wanna. Okay. I think I might call it.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? Great. Thanks.
Just can't offer to help her with it. It's getting to that point in the game where I'm finding it hard to focus. And I'm tired, and I have a lot of cleaning I need to do. I really don't want to do any of it. Just thinking about it's making me depressed. But I think I'm gonna call it for now. We're almost done this game, I feel. If I could just, like, sit down and actually play it, right? Because we've got this side quest, we've got to get my gun back. And then I don't think we have any more side quests to do we? Not really. We have a lot of, like, mini tasks. Yeah. That's all, like, mini. And then, so yeah. Once we finish this diversion, and then get my gun back, it is just the main story. So I think we're nearing the end of the game. In an ideal world, I might be able to finish it on Tuesday, because I won't be back tomorrow. You know what? What if I just promise to do it on Tuesday? Promise to finish the game on Tuesday. I won't be back on Wednesday, and then I can start something new on Thursday. I don't know what I would start on Thursday. I'll figure that out later. Let me open my big list. .txt. Done. That's basically done. That's done. Start that or that. 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 Yeah. But yeah, okay. That's it for me tonight. I'll be back not tomorrow because I've got plans of things to do tomorrow. I'll be back Tuesday, probably later in the afternoon, like 3 to 4. And ideally, I would like to finish Disco Elysium then, but maybe I'll have to split it into 2 streams. We'll see. Either way, thanks so much. Shut up. I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a good day. Good day.